What is up, guys? This is Charlie, the Predestined Piper, back again with another video. This one's pretty simple. I've been doing some simple videos recently. Haven't had a whole lot of time to film or plan videos or sit down for some nice, tobacco reviews. But I do have some in the, planned in the books, so we'll make that happen. And I swear this channel will hopefully get more professional soon. I want to wish y'all a happy, week, a blessed Thursday. I know there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world, and so I want to talk about that real quick before we dive into the pipes and tobacco. I could probably spend an hour talking about the things that are going on in just America alone. The horrible atrocities, the senseless acts of violence, the pain felt in many communities, whether it's the family of Charlie Kirk or the family of that young woman who was stabbed on the train in Charlotte, or, those in Colorado who, with that shooting, or those at the Catholic Church with that shooting. There are so many things, and that's just America alone. But briefly, I wanted to say, first off, my prayers go out to them, and I encourage you guys to all be praying for peace in our nation, as well as praying for the promises that God makes, that this won't always be the case, that there is glory to be had in heaven, and that we will see the glory of God in the land of the living, right? I encourage you guys to be in prayer. And lastly, I don't want to spend too much time on this or dwell on it, because this isn't a political channel, but this isn't political, this is life, right? And this is a channel about me and my life. This has been a real wake-up call for me to, I've always been very outspoken about my faith and my political beliefs, as well as, any of my other beliefs. But this is a massive call for me to really affirm my calling that God has given me, right? And so I encourage you guys to be very outspoken about your faith and about your politics in the place that God has you. For some of you, it might be on a grand stage, right? For some of you other YouTubers watching this, it might be in front of thousands of people on a screen. For me, it's in front of a couple dozen to maybe a couple hundred on this screen, but my true calling is to be a good, godly husband and one-day father. And I encourage you to do all the same. I encourage you to know where God has put you and be a leader in that, and constantly preach his word, be an advocate for the truth, and do good on this earth. And I'm not talking about a lovey-dovey, feel-good. I'm talking about do what God deems as good on this earth. So that's, I don't want to, the nation's mourning. The world is mourning for so many things that have been going on. And I don't want to, I'm tired of the sadness. It's okay to be sad, right? There's a time for everything. Ecclesiastes tells us that. But I want to be more of an encouragement to you guys to, walk the call that Christ has called you to walk, right? I think it's 1 Corinthians 4 that Paul says, this is how one should regard us, as servants of Christ and stewards of his mysteries. And that's what I want to be regarded as. And that's what I know Charlie Kirk was regarded as, right? I know that's what many of you will be regarded as. But I want to encourage you that while everything seems like chaos right now, there will be a day when that isn't the case. God promises it. And with that, I'm going to move on to the pipes and tobacco side, as well as a life update. First off, you might have heard me say, or noticed that I said, that part of my calling is to be a good husband and one-day father. And I say to be a good husband, not to be a one-day good husband, because on the 3rd of September, I got married. So I got the ring. I've been wearing a ring for a little bit, just as a, it's kind of fun. But I got the ring. More importantly, I got the beautiful bride. So we are super happy. We had a wonderful honeymoon last week to the mountains of Tennessee. We had a very small, beautiful wedding at a local garden with her parents and siblings and my parents and siblings. So this is a miraculously beautiful time for us. So that has been wonderful, right? I mean, I couldn't be happier. I've always known that my calling truly is to be a godly man to a wife and a family, and to lead that wife well and raise that family well and show them Christ. And so I am, in the process of fulfilling that calling, Lord willing, right? So that's been amazing. Now, I've also just been working real hard. Life's been kind of going crazy. I'm in the process of now selling my house. So, get married, sell the house, all these crazy things going on. And then with the tobacco stuff, really happy with the way things are going, right? I see that Carolina Red Flake just got announced. I've never had that. I'm so excited to try that. So hopefully I can save up a couple bucks and buy a tin or two. And then I have some new acquisitions. So first off, I'm kind of always ordering the tobaccos I like. So this time, every smoking pipes order I do, or every time I'm in a tobacconist, I order something I like, and then maybe I'll order something new, right? So I can stock up, build the cellar up. This time I ordered GLP's Ellipses Flake. That's one of my favorites. If you haven't had that, you should. It's great. I think it's Virginia. There might be some Perique in it. I'm not too sure. I don't have the can with me right now. There's some Izmir, Turkish Izmir. Very floral, fruity, good bright haze. There might be some red Virginias. It's very rich, very complex. It's a nice one that you can pack and hop on the road and drive and not think about it, but also you can sit down and sip it and really process everything. So that's one I got. But the one I'm really excited about is when I was in Tennessee, I was in Chattanooga, and I was able to pick up 3 tins of Sun Bear, which I missed out on completely. And I was so bummed because I had them in my cart and decided, I'll hold off for a few minutes. I'm not really feeling like spending the money right now. And then it was gone. So I, like an idiot, missed out. And then I got 3 tins this past weekend. I've smoked through a little over half of that tin already. Or I should say this past week. So I've been smoking it a lot. I'm going to hold on to the 2 other tins for a little while and maybe have some, when I'm around some more, more pipe friends or something, crack it open who haven't had it, share it. That's the point of this hobby, is to share. My second acquisition, beyond tobacco, right, is this beautiful pipe. This is a Yakino. It's an Italian pipe. My camera will not do it justice. And it is a Yakino Night. It's a bent brandy, they're calling it. Very nice stem. It's got like a kind of almost coffee stem. Very beautiful pipe. This rustication is awesome. It's got, this kind of black stain on it. It's almost similar to some of the Norton Compasses. It's got this black stain on it, and then they, on the inner side of the rustication, and then they kind of buff it, so then it has the natural wood kind of stain, or a darker brown stain on the outside. So it's a really nice contrast, very craggy. This pipe was bought to commemorate my wedding, which you won't be able to see because I have it full of tobacco and it's hard to see, but there's a little 25 there. I think it's upside down for y'all. So this is awesome. I'm really stoked about this. It's a very hefty bowl. Probably one of the heavier pipes I have. It's also probably the best smoking pipe I have. I have put numerous bowls through this, and I got it on Sunday, I think, Saturday or Sunday. Probably put about 5 or 6 bowls through this. In it right now, I'm smoking some Presbyterian mixture. That's one of my favorites because it's a great light English, but also I am a Presbyterian, so I love it. Sipping on some sparkling water. All right, my last acquisition is something I never really thought I'd buy. You've already seen it in this video. and that is this I Am Corona pipe lighter. It's got the herringbone pattern, which might be a little hard to pick up on, but it's very beautiful. I've wanted one of these since I got into pipe smoking, and I never pulled the, never made a purchase for it because it's expensive. It was about 150 bucks, and haven't really had that money just lying around. And I've been fine with my Bic lighters, right? I've been fine with my, $40 Lotus lighter. That's great, right? But I keep seeing videos of this. It's just, it just keeps drawing my attention. It sits in my smoking pipes wish list. And so finally, I told myself I'm gonna buy it, right? So, let me put the pipe down while I talk. Some of my favorite things about this pipe lighter are, first off, probably the best feature is when you open it up and light it, it will stay lit, right? So as you open it up, the fuel starts to come out of this little nib right here. You strike it, it'll stay lit, which is great because then I can kind of angle it where it needs to go. Whereas a lot of these pipe lighters, this one's really easy to light with because it's back here, right? But if you're holding like a Bic lighter or something like that, even the easy reaches, you gotta hold down that button, and sometimes you misclick it, or your finger slips, or it's too, if you're not using an easy reach, it's too close to the, striker. Like imagine if I had to light this and then put my finger right there. That's hot, right? That'll get hot. But I can light this, I can hold it by the very edge, right? And get down in there, which is nice. And then the last thing is, it has a little tamper tool. So if you pull it out and twist it as it's halfway out, you can use it as a tamper, right? But if you twist it back and pull it all the way out, it's kind of like a little nail pick type tamper tool, right? So you have your tamper, and then you have your little scooper pick. So, I carry a check tool on my keys, and when I'm at my desk, I have this 8 Deco poker. Or tamper. These are amazing. These are like $10, and they look nice. And this one unscrewed, a little pick. So these are nice, but I carry another tamper on me. But it's really nice to have another one for redundancy. I mean, you always have this one for redundancy, right? If you tap fast enough, you're not going to burn your finger. So yeah, those are my acquisitions. I'm really happy about specifically these two, as well as Sun Bear. I mean, that's an extraordinary smoke. I don't think I'm going to do a review on any small batches. I might. I think I did one on San Sepulcro. I might do one on Carolina Red Flake if I can get it in a timely manner. I think it's just been a little too long since Sun Bear came out now. There's plenty of great reviewers reviewing it. I'd rather review stuff that, is a little more, widely produced that you guys can pick up. Because there's no point in, really watching a tasting notes video after you've already bought it and smoked it. And there's no real point of you watching a tasting notes video if you missed out on buying it and then you're just kind of having the FOMO. So I'd rather do something that's a little more, consistent. So I think I'm gonna do some Squadron Leader. That I've been loving that. Might do a few others. But yeah, life is good. I think in these times more than ever, right? It's very important to remember that life is truly good. Every day you wake up is another blessing from God. I've had some things to celebrate for in my life. And so even though there's chaos, in the world right now, things feel pretty good day to day. But I really don't want you guys to be discouraged, right? I want to encourage you guys to see the light in it all and not just be happy-go-lucky, right? Not just be like, oh, well, it happened, it's over, whatever, or people die every day, I'm not worried, right? But instead, genuinely, mourn and feel that loss and pray and reflect on it and pray for the souls of those who have passed and pray for the families of those who continue their legacy. But also, understand that, while there is also a time to mourn and cry and dwell on it, there's also a time to sing and dance and rejoice. So maybe it's not the time for you yet, but I pray that it will be soon. I know I might have rambled a little bit. Just randomly decided to film and grabbed out my phone and started filming. Had no real plans for this video. Like I said at the beginning, I want to do some more, tobacco reviews, some more pipe culture talks, some other things, more shop tours too. So I would love for you guys to let me know down in the comments what you want to see. I'd rather show you guys videos you want to see than just film videos I want to film. Because if it relates to pipes and tobacco, I want to film it, right? So I don't really care. I'm not picky. Yeah, but I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. With that, God bless, my friends.